Away. Not a bad break either, and one of the best to begin wide out. King's Chariot, Clamotta away quickly, and Sir Etiquette scooting up on the inside. Like a Topic handling fourth position at the moment, followed closely then by Hi Ho Fury, who's prodded out very wide, and then comes It's Lunchtime getting back to midfield. As they settle down now, and King's Chariot leads from Sir Etiquette, Clamotta third. Ace It Up caught out wide with Hi Ho Fury and Belloran, then Like a Topic the inside, a length It's Lunchtime, Eagle Mountain, Clavelle's Girl, and then Billions Galore on the inside, Prometheus second last, Home to Stay as last. They have 800 metres to travel, and King's Chariot leads the way a length on Sir Etiquette and Hi Ho Fury, and then comes Clamotta. A bit over a length, the Like a Topic travelling on the inside of Ace It Up, and then It's Lunchtime, a length to Belloran. 1.5 further back, then on the inside rail is Billions Galore, and wider out is Clavelle's Girl. Then comes Eagle Mountain starting to lose its position. Second last Prometheus, and last is Home to Stay. King's Chariot with a handy break as they straighten up. It's Lunchtime with a beautiful run through on the inside is the first to go after King's Chariot, followed by Clamotta on the outside, going with It's Lunchtime, and two to Like a Topic. 200 to go. They've closed in on King's Chariot, and Dittman had taken It's Lunchtime clear. Clamotta's under the weapon. It's Lunchtime's home, I'd say. It's Lunchtime, hands and heels, safely holding Clamotta and King's Chariot, and the first fave wins it well. It's Lunchtime, 2 lengths to Clamotta. Third home was King's Chariot, followed by Like a Topic, and then came Billions Galore, Eagle Mountain, Prometheus. A break, Hi Ho Fury, then Belloran, Home to Stay, Clavelle's Girl, Ace It Up, and tailed off was Sir Etiquette.
Numbers as called by Ian Craig, Race 1 Sydney, are 7, 8 and 10.
Stand up well. Racing at the first attempt and caught them as one. Shortly after, Kelly's Angel and Bingo getting back a little, and one of the best to get into the early division is Rose and Regal, striding out with Toy's Daughter, and then over on the inside, Glen Abbey from Lyndon Star. About 2 lengths away to Bingo on the inside, going past it on the outside at the 1200, Kelly's Angel, and a length away to Gilmore, who's about 5 off the lead. Working along the far side, and Toy's Daughter led by a length now to Rose and Regal. Its stablemate Glen Abbey held third on the inside, Lyndon Star going to it on the outside at the 1000. As they run by the 900 now, then Kelly's Angel. On the last pair, 2 lengths away, Gilmore is camped on the outside of Bingo. Onto the side, they race by the 800 now, and Toy's Daughter, given a little bit more rain, has got to about a 2-length lead to in second placing Rose and Regal and Glen Abbey together, followed by Lyndon Star, and then Kelly's Angel. 2 lengths to Gilmore, who's about to be popped. It's question with 600 to run, and 2 or 3 then to the other one, Bingo, before the turn, and Toy's Daughter still the leader. 2 lengths now to Glen Abbey, who's niggled at, hard-ridden in fact, and then came on the outside Rose and Regal. Held up for run Gilmore, his angle for the rails run, didn't get through, got checked out of it, now switches around Rose and Regal, but the bird may have flown. Then Lyndon Star, they can't get to his daughter at the 200, it's pinched a winning break, it's 4 or 5 in front. Gilmore will get up and run second probably, with Glen Abbey battling away, and then came on the outside, battling on fairly well, is Lyndon Star, but Toy's Daughter wins easily, about 5 or 6 lengths to Gilmore, should have finished closer again. In third placing on the inside, Glen Abbey, then Lyndon Star, followed by Rose and Regal, and then Bingo, and last in Kelly's Angel.
Keen to get on with it, they're off. Heroic Blaze was last out of the barrier stalls, and Bailab got the best of the jump from Black Civic. Third is King's Currency, followed by My Parade. Interesting to see who's going to lead. It looks as though it'll be Compton on King's Currency, yes. And as they travel 250 metres, King's Currency a length and a half Bailab, a neck the fence Black Civic, a length My Parade. 1.5 to the favourite Allure, then the longest time, followed by Garuna, Zamboanga and Heroic Blaze. Second last Essential, and last of all being Mel Selina. Down the back, going to the 1400 metres, and King's Currency by 2 lengths on Bailab, a half length away on the rails, Black Civic, a length My Parade. It's being tracked by Allured, and then the longest time, a couple, then Garuna, Heroic Blaze and Zamboanga. Essential next to last, and Absolute being Mel Selina, some 12 or 15 lengths from the leader, which is King's Currency, and past the 1200, King's Currency increasing his lead on Bailab, and make it about 4 or 5 lengths now. Black Civic on the inside, then My Parade, still being followed by Allured, who has on the inside of it, and just shading him, in fact, the longest time, a gap of a length to the old fella Zamboanga, then Heroic Blaze, and the last trio being Garuna, Essential and Mel Selina. Not a lot of change as they go over the crossing at the 850, and King's Currency 3 lengths Bailab and Black Civic, then My Parade. The fence is the longest time, followed closely by Allured, and then comes Heroic Blaze, 1 Zamboanga, Garuna, Mel Selina, and Essential's last 10 lengths from King's Currency, who at the 600 leads the best part of 3 lengths Black Black Civic and Bail Up, and then My Parade going up wider out. The longest time looking for a run through, and then comes Heroic Blaze, and Allured is going to have to go to the extreme outside. Around the corner and up the rise they come, and King's Currency to Heroic Blaze. By golly, Linden saved a heap of ground on Heroic Blaze. It swept past King's Currency, and then My Parade and Allured making a run down the middle. Inside the 200, Heroic Blaze has got a big break. In second place now is the longest time, followed by Allured and My Parade, but it's Heroic Blaze in front. The longest time won't reach it, and another good ride by the girl. Miss Marie Linden gets Heroic Blaze home a length clear of the longest time. Allured a distant third, and then came Essential, My Parade, Garuna, Bail Up, Zamboanga, Black Civic, King's Currency right out of form, and Mel Selena was last.
And there you have Sydney Race 2, and as called by Ian Craig, the numbers 7, 10 and 4.
This problem with Bain Marie. Stands up a little better. Ready now. And racing. Bain Marie jumped away fairly well. King's Pleasure away fairly out wide on the track. Not anxious to vie for the early lead. He's going to leave that to Hewenden and Nangari. Bain Marie settling third with those, and they were followed by Surveillance between PK and over on the inside Grand Union, and the favourite drops to the tail. Racing to the judge this first time with one circuit to go, and the ghostly grey Hewenden assumes control, led by two clearing the straight from Nangari. A similar margin, Bain Marie getting away from the rail. Grand Union behind it and PK. Then further back in the field came Surveillance, and last of all within a length or so is King's Pleasure. Well, the pace is even enough as they go to the 1800 metres and over the crossing on the side, where Hewenden led by a couple to Nangari, a length and a quarter away third, with the speed on quite generously is Bain Marie. Then about 2.5 further back in the field behind them as they slacken now is Grand Union, followed now by PK, who's gone up 3 deep. King's Pleasure took a run in the middle, and over on the inside Surveillance. Hewenden led by 3/4 of a length to Nangari, 2.5 away third, 1400 out is Bain Marie. About 2 lengths away, or perhaps a little more, to King's Pleasure, getting up on terms with Grand Union. About 2 to Surveillance, tracking it through, and then 3 lengths to PK, shown the Persuader. They go to the 1200 metre mark now, and here the leader is the ghostly grey Hewenden, by a length and a half Nangari. 2.5 away third, Bain Marie, and then came within a length King's Pleasure. Looks to be going okay as they run by the 1000. 2 lengths away Surveillance, moving up around Grand Union, and forget all about PK. Racing onto the side of the course now, and here the leader Hewenden, only 3/4 Nangari, 2.5 King's Pleasure joining Bain Marie, about 2.5 Surveillance, thrown everything at it, the rider. About 3 to Grand Union has gone, and forgetting PK down the side. Nangari gets to Hewenden. King's Pleasure and Bain Marie are joining in, and Surveillance, who's been getting a bit of a hiding for a while, is responding and starting to pick them up, and 5 or 6 lengths away then Grand Union, and tailed off PK before the turn. Hewenden compounding as Nangari goes to the lead, ridden up into second spot now King's Pleasure. Surveillance is following it up and still running on from Bain Marie, but they've got to get Nangari into the straight, led a half 3/4, but now coming at it Surveillance, and in the centre King's Pleasure, a line of 3 from Bain Marie. Surveillance is finishing better than King's Pleasure and Nangari as they race inside the 200 metre mark. It's between Surveillance, the outside, who's wearing down King's Pleasure. Nangari's gone, then Bain Marie, but Surveillance is going to score and breaks his maiden status by about 2.5 lengths to King's Pleasure, then Bain Marie followed by Nangari. A dozen lengths Grand Union. Hewenden got the stitch, and PK never a possibility.